Our final guest today is Dr. Lori Tackman of Novant Health Pediatrics, Brunswick. Welcome to the show, Lori.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you back. We've had you on before, and this is usually the time of year that we have you on because we're getting ready to send our kids back to school.
That's right.
So we're happy to have you here, but before we start, talk a little bit about your practice, Novant Health Pediatrics, Brunswick.
Yeah, so we are a general pediatric practice. We see newborns through 21, 22.
Wow.
Do the whole thing.
The whole thing. So they're not
Babies on up.
Well, today I want to talk about children going back to school, and it's been an unusual year with the pandemic. We've been stuck in the house for a year and a half, and it's impacted everyone, including our children.
Definitely.
So they're going to start socializing again and being in person. So what advice do you have for students to help them re-enter that?
Right. Definitely seeing this a lot in the patients that
Are
have
they
been
nervous?
coming in. They are. I actually saw a couple children the past few days where the little ones haven't been to school.
Oh,
ever.
yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah, and so they're really anxious, and so I advise the parents to have them go to the school at, a safe time. And just kind of get familiar with the layout of the school. If there's a way that they can meet with a teacher beforehand, that would be awesome. If they know some other children that are going there, maybe in our class, that they can maybe get together with one or two of them so they can kind of have a special friend they already know when they go to school. Another thing, too, for the older kids is that they need to start getting on a more regular schedule because these kids have been staying up till late at night and sleeping in. So try to ease into a more regular schedule with waking up early and going to bed earlier and just working on their good sleep hygiene so they're getting to bed at a reasonable hour so they're fresh and ready to go.
It could be scary for kids. When you said that, that kind of struck me. They've never been there before. They don't even know what the school. So it's like, wow, that's going to be something for them. And then even just returning, when you've been away from something for so long, if you're off for 6 weeks or whatever and you go back to work, you feel like the strange person in the office.
Right, exactly.
I can't imagine what kids feel like.
Yes, but I think it's going to be wonderful because children do learn a lot better in person, hands-on, right there with visual, hearing, touching. So they need the whole and socialization. They need the whole thing.
What about hygiene in schools? What are you recommending to your parents? Are the kids going to mask, washing their hands?
Well, just check with the school, what their policy is going to be. But definitely they need to be washing their hands frequently, not getting too close to people if they seem like they have the sniffles or coughing. And, the first thing is, if they're not feeling good, they need to stay home.
Stay home.
They need to stay home. But lots of good hand washing and, masking if the school requires it.
We'll be going into flu season again too, so the regular flu, so that the masking I think helped with the flu this past year.
Absolutely, barely saw any flu at all, so that was great. Yeah, it was the one good thing.
So let's talk a little bit about vaccines. We'll just start with COVID. What is the CDC recommending right now for children?
So things are changing all the time.
Yeah,
so just
seems like daily.
Yeah, so just go to trusted websites, American Academy of Pediatrics, CDC. Just stop by every once in a while, see their new policy changes. But right now, the CDC is recommending 12 years old and up. They can get the 2 doses of the Pfizer vaccine.
I think it's only Pfizer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So let's talk about regular vaccines. Now, I know there are several they need before they go to school. So tell me about those.
So before kindergarten, of course, they need the MMR, varicella, and Tdap, the tetanus, diphtheria, pertussis, and polio, the last one of that. Then when they're teenagers, or 11, 12, they need to get the MMR follow-up and the meningococcal vaccine and their Tdap again. And then when they're 16 to 18 years old, they need to get that other meningococcal vaccine. So they need, and everybody needs a flu vaccine in the fall.
Well, Dr. Tackman, I know that some of us adults, we have experienced some depression or just some anguish over not being able to connect with one another. Have you seen that it's affected children in any particular ways?
Definitely. A lot of children are a little more withdrawn, having some anger issues, seem a little more sad, and because they're away from their friends. They're not out there doing activities. They're a lot more fearful. So it's really important when they're going back to school, parents keep the line of communication open, keep on asking them how their day is, how things are going. If they seem kind of down or acting kind of hopeless or kind of angry or having anger outbursts, parents need to talk with them and just see what else is going on. It's probably not them just being stinkers, but that something else is bothering them. So definitely keep an eye on that. Let your pediatrician know if they are seeing a lot of mood changes or sadness, anger, because kids really do need socialization. It has affected them, and their whole world has been changed. So.
Yeah, and we've been so careful about telling people to wash their hands and wear that mask and don't do this and don't do that.
Right.
They probably are so confused, they don't know what to do. And now we're going to throw them back into school and they're going to be exposed to all these people and different things, and they probably are frightened.
Right, and just, reiterate with the children and older kids too, just keep on washing your hands, wear the mask when appropriate. If you forget to do it, don't feel guilty. It's okay.
That's the thing,
that, because I've also had that too, that children are like, oh my
yeah.
goodness, I forgot to wear my mask, or I didn't wash my hands. And so it's okay. Let them know it's all right. Wash them now. It's okay. But yeah, just keep an eye on their mental health and keep them active and go outside and
enjoy the sunshine.
Right, enjoy the sunshine. Have them be around their friends again, and we're going to be great.
Well, good. Well, I appreciate you coming on today. It's always good to see you, and we always like to know what's going on with schools and kids and what have you. So I hope you'll come back again really soon.
I sure will. Yeah, thanks for having me.